I too would like to heartily welcome the members of the deaf community back to the House. I do think it is commendable that this is the second time within 3 months that we've had a debate on Irish Sign Language. Minister, you've been well praised this evening, and as usual, and I too would like to add my voice to that and for your work in this area. I think Senator Conway also, you certainly brought a very, very worthwhile debate and an excellent debate to the House in October. When we did have this unanimous conclusion to the debate, and Senator Koch Keane also, I think that was one of the first conversations that I had with her as well, was on the subject of Irish Sign Language. So I think there has been plenty of work done. I'd like to commend Senator Mark Daly, Senator Larissa Muraku on the spirit of the bill, and I think as Senator Conway has outlined, I think there are some confusions with the bill as well. There are some areas. There isn't a person in this House, be it in the Shannons, be it in the Dáil, or be it across the ministerial chambers, as I think you've acknowledged, Senator Daly, in that this was a discussion that you've had with the previous government, when you were in power. But I think there are some areas of the bill, and I think there are some steps that we need to take and to ensure that they are right, to move it on, so that when it does happen, that it will be in the right spirit and it will be done perfectly correctly. There are just some areas, I think, in the bill that I'd like to take up. On one of the sentences you have in the introduction to the bill, it is you've stated, and whereas the state has ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This actually, I think, might be leading to confusion, because we haven't actually ratified it, unfortunately. To date, we can't ratify it. We've signed it, but we can't ratify it until the mental capacity bill has gone through, which is a huge step forward that this government has taken, that it is now at committee stage and will be something that will come through, and I think that is what's going to make a huge difference. So I just think there's a little bit of confusion in that, because it hasn't actually been ratified. As spokesperson for education and disability, I believe that we have much work, as I said, to do as legislators in addressing literacy issues for the deaf or hard of hearing adults and children. The Irish Deaf Kids website, I just looked it up in research for this debate, and it states, I was kind of surprised that it states that many deaf adults using ISL have a reading age of 8.5 to 9 years old. And I think that this is an issue, that's something that we need to look at. I know that Minister Quinn has specifically placed a strong emphasis and priority on improving literacy and numeracy among the population, and I think that this is something that we need to do, this, to improve it here, so that we can introduce, so that our future generation of people with hearing difficulties or hearing impairments, that we can improve the literacy skills that are there. In my meetings with the Irish Deaf, people from the Irish Deaf community, and specifically with the Happy New Ears campaign, I understand that English is the second language, that ISL is very much different in grammar, structure, etc., and that we must keep that in mind with the whole literacy issue. I would support further reading tuition being provided for ISL users, so that we can improve the literacy skills for the next generation, as I said, of people with hearing impairments. The state does formally recognise Irish Sign Language in the Education Act of 1998, and the Department of Education offers a few supports, or many supports and schemes to help in the training of ISL for the child and family. I believe that we'd all be in agreement that more could be done to address the literacy and promotion of ISL in education, to date. In terms of access to interpretation in dealing with public services, the Department of Justice, Equality and Law Reform will coordinate an Irish remote sign language interpreting service, the IRIS, across the relevant government departments, with the Department of Social Protection when they commenced the pilot on the 25th of July of last year on the Navan Road. And this service has also been trialled locally in my own area, in the Dundalk Citizens Information Office, since last year, and I've spoken with them, and they are very, very pleased with the way it's gone. I know that it's available from Tuesday to Thursday from 10 till 4 p.m. in the Dundalk Citizen Information Office. This service has been developed in collaboration with Sign Language Interpreting Service, Deaf Hear and the Irish Deaf Society, and I think that's something that I was delighted to see, because very often I think it's the key workers, it's the frontline people that have the knowledge that can bring this forward, and I welcome that and I commend that they were involved in the setting up of this. While I know that it's not suitable for every occasion, I do believe that it's a significant improvement on the current format for ISL users, and I look forward to the further rollout of this service to other public offices. Also, in consultation with those in the legal profession, in the last couple of days, I believe that ISL users would have free availability of an interpreter in the courts, whether they are a victim, a witness, or accused of a crime or involved in proceedings. So that was kind of another aspect that I'm just not too clear about. I mean, as far as from my dealings and from my research, what I've done, this is what I've been informed, that anybody who would be before the courts in whatever role would be provided with an interpreter. I reiterate the point that I've continually pushed, whether it be in education or in disability, that service users need to be meaningfully included in consultation on services and policies. Minister Kathleen Lynch has taken an inclusive approach into the meetings with the National Disability Strategy, has done excellent work in this, and has met with representatives, as Senator Conaway has already said, of the deaf community and other relevant stakeholders. I understand that recognition would be a key milestone for the deaf community, but as it has been stated and reiterated recently, the Department of Justice have repeatedly said that recognition as a third language, unfortunately, will not be forthcoming. I'd just like to mention, on a personal note, that I'm delighted that money has been, that the €10 million has been allocated for the bilateral cochlear implants. I think this is going to go a huge way in improving the lives of members of the deaf community. I met with many of the members of the Happy New Year's campaign from my own area in Dundalk, and I would like to commend them on their ongoing dedication and work to ensure that this would be rolled out. I never met a group of more dedicated parents and supporters to pursue their goal. The video campaign that they ran just before the budget, showing children in need of second cochlear implants, was indeed heart-wrenching. Having met with mothers, fathers and family members of the Happy New Year's campaign, I know how important it is, as many children were reaching the deadline for a second implant. I believe that this allocation of money is one of the best decisions that have been taken by the government since coming into the office. It was a very, very proud day when it was announced, and I look forward to the positive effects that it will have on the children and families concerned. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator.